This
Sounds good.
conference will now be recorded.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for attending today's webinar. We've got a lot to cover. So I opted not to have my camera on so you guys could focus on what I'm talking about and presenting on the screen. What we're going to do today is we're going to walk through a quick overview of the system, and then we're going to go into dive into your settings within the system, creating users, assigning those users courses, pulling reports, and then after we do that, we're going to actually go in and create a course within the system so you know how to do that. So we've got a lot to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So when you log into the training center, you will come to the dashboard. In fact, all of your learners, when they log into the training center, the first page they will actually come to is this dashboard. This dashboard is your information, you as a user within the system. So you will see basically a quick matrix of the courses that you're enrolled in, those that are in progress, not started, and even overdue. If you happen to be an approver for a course, you will have an approver task, and you can see how many courses somebody has been requesting to be approved and enrolled in. And all you have to do is click approve or deny, and it does give you the capability to respond if you should deny a course to a employee. Pop back to the dashboard. On your dashboard, the next section you're presented with are those courses that you're currently enrolled in. You can easily start or resume a course from this page. Just know that when you're taking a course within the system, you do want to have your pop-up blocker disabled so that the course will launch in the secondary window. To launch a course, just click Start, and it will launch that course for you to take. Things that you'll see on these course cards, you'll get the title of the course. You'll also get the course length, the type of course it is, so it'll reference if it's an online course or a classroom course. You also get additional information of when a course is due, as well as if it's overdue. If you click on the little I at the top, the card will flip over. You'll get additional information about the course, 80% passing course, approval for passing the course. Is the course needing approval? And then you can flip that card back over again. Other information that you can get from the card is if you click on the title of the course, again, you can start the course, you get the entire description for the course, and you can even get attachments for that course. So keep in mind, as administrators, you can go in and add up to 5 attachments to that course and make it available to your employees. You have a filter on the course, so you can definitely filter by due date, recently enrolled, shortest to longest, longest to shortest. So you have a lot of different filters that you can do here. So it really is great if you want to focus just on those courses that are overdue. You can definitely click on that, and that will provide you with that information. Continuing on, the next section of the dashboard provides you with any upcoming classroom workshops that you must attend. So if you are enrolled in a classroom workshop, you'll see that information here to remind you of that. You can also, as administrators, you can feature up to 3 courses for your employees. You'll build those courses out, or actually promote those courses through the settings area. And then your employees can come here, see what those featured courses are. They can view the course detailed card about that course, and they can easily enroll. You can also see the last 5 courses that you've completed. So here I can see I have 5 courses that I've completed. 1 was a required course, 5 were electives. I can see the date that I completed those courses. And then also I can view my transcript report. In viewing your transcript report, you are provided with all the courses. I've got my filter on of completed courses, so I'm seeing all of my completed courses. I can change that and say I want to see all of my courses. And so I can get all of that information about my transcript. I can also print that transcript out. If I have a learning plan, I will see that information down here. A learning plan is grouping of courses together. So, let's say you have a new employee orientation courses that you want employees to take when they first start. You can group those together as learning plans, and it shows you the progression of those learning plans. We also have the ability for you and your employees to manage certifications and licenses, and so that information is presented on your transcript report as well. Going back to the dashboard, we have your top 5 categories listed here. So I can see that I have 14 courses assigned in the health and safety area. I also have 9 courses assigned in employment liability. So it just gives me a nice picture of where I'm spending the most of my time when I'm taking courses. If I happen to be a manager and have direct reports, I will see them below here. Here I can actually manage my direct reports from the dashboard. I can click on their name and it will take me to their profile information, in which I can see all the profile information about them. I can view their transcript reports just like I was able to view mine. I can also see their certifications and licenses that they've been assigned, the date it was issued, when it's going to expire. I get their top 5 categories, a matrix of the courses they are enrolled in, those courses that they're enrolled in, the courses that they've completed, and under the courses they've completed, if they've passed it, I can view and print their certificate of completion. Then the system also manages external learning events. So I can view those external learning events, know that your employees, if the external learning event topic is listed in the system, they can actually complete that information themselves. But no, you can also go in. You can add external learning events by clicking the button, choosing that external learning event from the drop-down list or searching for it through the search tool. And if you're not finding the learning event that you're needing because you're an administrator, click on the plus and you can add that learning event into the system so it's available to all your employees. All right. Finishing up at the dashboard. Other things that you can do under the dashboard for your direct reports, you can also enroll your employees into online courses or classroom workshops. To do so, just click on the link. We get a flyout with all the different courses that are available. If you're not seeing the course on the list, you can actually go in here and start typing for a particular course. Once that course is presented, you can click and add multiple courses at one time to that employee, and then just click enroll. And then those courses are enrolled to that employee. Moving on, the My Courses tab. This is your courses, the courses that have been assigned to you as a user in the system. So you can easily access the courses and launch them and take them. You can they work the same way as they do in the dashboard. So you do have the eye, you can hover over, get more information, click on the course title, get additional information, and see what attachments are associated to that course. You also have the ability under the My Courses area to look at your learning plans, should you have any. And if you happen to have a learning plans in there, the nice thing about learning plans, it does give you a progression of how you're doing. So for example, the new employee training learning plan that I have here has 4 courses associated to it. I've completed 25% of those. So I've completed 1 out of the 4 courses for that learning plan. I can also view my own profile again from this page, and it gives me all the information just like I saw when we were looking at the profile for Denise, my direct report. I can also look at what courses I've been assigned, learning plans, as well as certifications and licenses. Course catalog. This is where you and your employees can go to enroll into courses. So the course catalog allows you to filter by categories, by type, by duration, and you can even assign tags and keywords to courses, and you can search by that as well. You can also enter the course name here and search this way for a course, or you can switch your view and you can search using the different column headers for the particular course that you want to enroll in. Once you find a course that you want to enroll in, again, keep in mind right now I'm enrolling into a course. I can click on that course. Whoops, and of course I picked one I already enrolled in and I can enroll in that training. You can also enroll others in that course through the course catalog if you have administrative rights. Click on enroll and you can select the employees that you would like to enroll in that training. If you want to select all of your employees, just click in the header. It'll select the 10 that are showing up on the page. You can change your view and get the additional employees that way and select them. Or you'll notice it says down here that I've selected 10 of the 116. If I go up here, we have a button that says select all 116. And so now I've got all 116 records selected, and I can enroll all of those employees into that course. So a quick way to enroll employees into training that you need. And I'm not going to do that because that'll take some time enrolling 116 people. The other thing you can do from your course catalog is if you do have the authority to drop an employee from training, you can do that through the course catalog as well. Just click on the name of the course, and then you can drop those employees that need to be dropped. You also have the ability to change their due date. So if this person, you want to give them a little bit more time to complete the course, you can go in, change their due date, and click Save. So now I'm going to really focus on more of the administrative settings for you. And in this section of the training, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit so that I can walk you through the process. So if you've never been to the site, or if you're new to the site, or you've never set up the settings for your campus, this is what you would want to do first. You want to come to the administrative area. And under the administrative area, you have a couple different things that you can do. You can manage users, you can build out departments, divisions, positions, and then also you have settings. So we're going to kind of focus on settings first. And so this is my recommendation if you're new to the system or if you haven't set up any of your settings within the system, that you come here first. Click on settings. You'll notice over here on the left, we have several different categories. We have general, notifications, courses, learning plans, certificate, and featured courses. So let's just kind of start at the general setting. What you want to do in the general setting is this is where you'll just enter your address. And then also, this is where you can place your logo for the certificate of completion. And then the logo is also placed in a couple other areas of the site, like the training activity report. And that's really just a drag and drop to put that in. So right now I do have a logo in there. So if I would delete that, I could easily drag and drop another logo here. You can also customize your course banner catalog. That's for this course catalog page. There's a section at the top which you can customize. So you can name that banner title. You can also have your logo displayed. You can also have a background graphic there for that section, and you can drop that graphic there. Once you've made those changes and everything, that would be presented up here in your course catalog. Going back to my settings, notifications. Your system has many different types of notifications that are available. You can customize these notifications, account activation email. So when you add a new learner to the system, you can have a email generated that is customized, letting them know that they need to activate their account. You also have course notifications in here for enrollment, reminders, class reminders. These are for classroom workshops, dropping and everything. So you can go through and look at these notifications and turn them on or turn them off, whatever you want to do. We're going to just kind of pop into one. I'm going to go into the online course enrollment. Click on the title. We have a flyout, and you have a lot of capabilities here. You can use the text that's already presented here, or you can go in and you can make changes to this text to customize it more to your employees. And you can also determine who is going to be receiving this communication. So make your changes. Select who you want to receive those communications. You even have the ability to customize who's going to receive it through the drop down here as well. I'm going to go ahead and unpublish that so it doesn't go out. Just know that if you do want to make changes to who the recipient is going to be, to who receives that, you do have to publish that notification, and then you can make the selection. Go ahead and close. So that's the way all of the notifications work. So feel free to turn on, turn off, whatever you would like. You also have the ability to send out custom notifications. These are date-specific communications to your employees. You can do that through the Create Custom Notification. It'll just open up, fly out, you name it, and then you'll create that notification. Select the date that you want that notification to go out to the recipients. You can also view as well. So we have one here that I created real quick. Here's just all the pertinent information about it, but I can go in and make and customize this and make changes to it. Moving on to courses, you have the ability to do the settings for your courses. Allow self-enrollment, turn off self-enrollment. So if you turn off self-enrollment, that means you as a manager or an administrator needs to go into the system and you actually need to enroll your employees into a course. Or you can allow them to self-register and maybe turn on the course approver. And who is that course approver going to be? Their manager, the administrator, a specific person. You have that ability to set those settings. Past required and ability to drop a course, those are optional items. Past required, really just know that the course actually drives what the passing grade is going to be. But if you want to put in those settings for a particular course just for informational purposes only to your employees, you can do that. You also have reminder settings. So you can turn that on and you can specify how often You want your employees reminded that they need to complete that training. You also have an overdue notice. You can have the overdue notices go out every week, every 2 days, or every day. You have the option of picking what you would like for those notifications to go out. You also have the ability to allow learners to view completed courses. So if you have a learner that's been assigned training and they've completed it and you just want them to be able to open it up, review it rather than retaking the course, you'll want to turn this on. Then we also have custom online course settings as well. If a course is gated, if you're going to allow retakes, and if you are going to allow retakes, how many retakes are you going to allow? You can enter that information. We a lot of times we'll put 99 because we don't care how often people take a course, but you may want to set it to where they can only take it, 4 times or 3 times or something. You can also set your relative due date for courses. Do you want them to have 90 days access to that course, or do you only want them to have 60 days access? You determine what that's going to be, and that can be done in days, weeks, months. These course settings are overall course settings. Do know that you can also change the course setting for a specific course. So these settings affect all courses, and then if you want to adjust it for a particular course, you have that option to do that. You can also set up learning plans settings as well. And then also certificates. Under certificates, this is where you can customize the certificate of completion. You can drop a signature in here for who's going to be signing that certificate. You've already placed your logo when you added it to the general settings, so that will present itself here. You can also decide, do I want to use the default template text? Or do I want to customize that? So maybe you want a certificate of completion and you want to remove the word course. You can actually make that change to certain areas within the certificate. You can also change the color of the certificate. You do have 2 certificates available within the system. One is for courses and the other is for learning plans. So you can customize these, one specific certificate for learning plans and another for courses. You also have the ability to do featured courses. So through the featured courses section, you have the ability to come in here and select those 3 courses that are presented to everybody under the dashboard. You can only have 3, so you do have to remove a course before you can add a course. And it's running through all my courses, so that's not a good thing. So we'll just close that out. Okay, so that is the settings system of the administrative part. So let's say you're ready to add some users to the university. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure your departments are built out within the system. So here are the departments that are currently in my system that it's available. I can expand this because it looks like I have 46 departments mentioned. Are built out. So make sure your departments are built out first before adding learners. If you need to add a new department, click Create, and you can create that new department. Provided a department code as well as a department, and then save it. You'll also need to come in here. If you happen to have divisions, you'll want to build out a division if it's not listed here. Again, Create, enter department from the drop down, code for the division, and enter the division, and then save it. And then finally, positions, building out positions for your employees. So department, division, position. Just know division is optional. You just need department and position to add a learner to the system. At any time, if you need to come in and delete one or edit one of those items that you've built out, you can easily do so. Editing one is easier to do. If you're trying to delete, you need to make sure that there are no active divisions or positions associated to that item. So once you've created your departments and positions, you're ready to now add learners into the system. And to add learners into the system, you would click on the tab that just says Learners. So here you will see your learners that are in the system. If you have any learners in the system, you'll get all the pertinent information about them, their first name, their last name, their departments, the start date. You can edit that information by clicking on the pencil. Takes you to the page. This is where you can add the photo. It's just a drag and drop to add a photo to a person's account. Then you would just have your information that's presented here, and you can edit that and make whatever changes you need. And then at the bottom, just click Save. So that's quick how to add an employee into the system. Just give me a second here. Okay. The other thing that you can do is if you're not seeing an employee on the list, you can add a learner by clicking the button Add a Learner. Here is where you would need to enter the information with an asterisk. So you would enter their first name, their last name, employee number. If they don't have an employee number, you can just use a combination of their first 3 letters of their first name and first 3 letters of their last name. The only thing I tell you not to do, please do not use their social security here. Use a combination of their name if they don't have an employee number. Select the position from the drop-down list. And then here is where you can add their manager. You can add their manager by doing the drop-down, click on the manager's name, and when you add a manager to a learner's information, that becomes a direct report for that manager. So they'll be able to see them under the dashboard and manage them as a user in the system. You can only add one manager here, but know that you can add up to 5 additional managers here. So if you do have an employee that reports to several different departments or several different managers, that you can add that here, and each of those managers can manage that employee. You also need to enter a position start date. If you don't know the position start date, just enter today's date. Full-time employee defaults to 1, and if it's part-time, 0.5. Other information is not necessary within the system. You do need to have an email address because the email address is used for the username. If you don't have an email address, use the supervisor's email address, but put a plus in there. So for example, my email address is this, and this employee doesn't have an email address. What I can do is I can enter before the @ sign a plus sign, and then maybe the person's first name, and then save this record. And so what ends up happening is this would be the employee's username to log in, but then this would also come to me as a supervisor. I would get those communications. So basically you're just making that email address unique for that user for login purposes. I'm going to pop back over into the learners list again and just show you a couple other things. If you click on the person's name, it will take you to their profile, which we've seen before. You can also enroll employees into courses from the learners list. Click on the header. I've got 10 records selected. I could select all 234 by going through each of the pages, or I can just select all 234 records by clicking on this. And then I can do a bulk action in which I can enroll the employees into a course. So let's say I want to just enroll them into that course and then just click enroll. And so it'll just enroll those 10 employees into that course. If I happen to get a failure, usually that means that that employee was already registered for that course, and I get that notification down here at the bottom. So that's how to add a learner, and as well as another way to assign training to employees. You can assign them if they're a direct report through the dashboard. You can assign training through the course catalog. You can assign training through the learners area. And then the last way you can assign training will be through course management, and I'll show you that in a moment. So now let's say my employees have gone in, they've done some training, and I want to pull an activity report to see what my employees are doing. I can easily do that through the training activity report. Click on that, brings up a report so I can see what training my employees are doing. I get a quick matrix of that. I can click on each of the pie pieces to get some additional information. So for example, I just want to see what courses people have passed. What the system automatically does is it changes what the detailed information I'm seeing below. So now I'm only seeing past courses. If I want to go back and I want to look at what courses are in progress, I can click on that pie chart, and my view below changes so I can see what courses are in progress. In addition to that, I can bring it back to the normal view. I can also uh, determine what columns I want to view down here. Clicking on the line icon, I can pick and choose what information is being presented. So you can see first name, last name, course name, first name, last name, course name. So everything checked here is what's being presented in this report. I can remove certain items. Maybe I don't need the course code. I don't need it to know about the overdue, but I do want to see the employee number. So I can make the selection of what information I want to see in my report. I can also determine the order of which information is being presented. Maybe I want the due date to be at the very end, and I want the employee number to be at the beginning. I click on the dots and I can change the arrangement of this. Click done. And now my report reflects the information that I requested here. Maybe I want to see just some quick information for a particular employee. I can actually put their last name in here if I can type. Oh, hopefully I didn't just freeze. Give me a second there. Okay. Okay, so I typed in a person's last name, and so now I'm able just to see, the training activity for that particular employee. I can remove that information, and it's going to take me back to provide me the activity of all of my employees. I can also click the arrows here to sort any way I choose. Once I have the information I want, I can click the header here. It selects everything on the page of what I'm viewing. Right now I have 100 records selected. Maybe I want to select all 1735. I can choose that if I want. And then I can do a book action, and I can export this report as a PDF, CSV, or an Excel document. Another thing for you to be aware of as administrators, you can save your views for certain sections within the system. All you have to do is, if you ever see an eyeball with my default view or an eyeball with any wording there, if you click on that, you can actually save multiple views in the system so that you're not having to go back and keep making those settings that you need to do. And then you can also determine that if you want that to be your default view as well. So for example, I've got this all programmed the way I want it. I just click create new view. I name my view. I can make it as a default view. Whoops, I thought I typed. I think my keyboard just stopped because it's not typing for me. Hold on just a second. Let's give it a moment and see what happens here. Either that, I've got slow internet. There we go. So I can name it. I can make it as my default view, or I can make it a public view so that my employees can, or my other administrators within my organization can view those. So just something to keep to know about. So now I've shown you how to add departments, add users, do your settings for your system, add assign courses to people, and how to pull reports. So what I'd like to do for the last piece of this webinar is kind of focus on the course management, in which I manage my courses being offered. So first of all, if you click on course management, you will be presented with the courses that are being offered on your campus. You can determine if you want to publish those courses and make them available to all of your employees, or unpublish them. You decide what you want to do here. This page does let you know. So for example, this course is not published, this course is published. I can click on the course title and I'm presented with a course detail. So I can easily see the description, the title, the information about the course, who's enrolled in the course. And then I can also add attachments to that course as well. So in order to do that within managing the course, what you'll have to do is make sure the course is unpublished and then click on Edit a Course. And here is where you can make any of those changes that you want. You can change the name, the course code, what category that course is listed under, the duration. You can go in here, set this a specific setting of allowing self-enrollment if enrollment approval is necessary. This is where you can do that for the individual course. You can also add a survey, and then there's some advanced settings. This is where you can put in key tag words for searching for your employees to be able to find a course easier. This is where you can drop up to 5 attachments. Those attachments do need to be PDF, but you can put up to 5 attachments, up to 100 megabytes each, attach it to a course, and push it out to your employees. You can also make a course visible for just a specific department. So if you create a course and you just want dispatchers to see it, you can change your visibility here so that the departments that you want to see it can. And just note, you can select multiple departments, not just one. So that really makes it nice. You can also determine what your enrollment start date and end date is. So if you have a course that you really only want them to take or have access to for a month, you can set that up in the system and make that happen. And again, some additional settings there as well. Once you've got your settings and added your attachments that you want to a course, just come back to the course detailed page, and then you can publish that course. And now that course is available for enrollment. Your employees will find it under their course catalog if they're within whatever specific department that you said could view that course. Other things to know about: if you have a course, you can also preview it from here as well. And then if a course is published, you can also go in here and enroll people into courses. This is another way of doing it. Now, the nice thing about enrolling courses through course management, it gives you the ability not only to register by employee, like we've done in the previous areas that I've shown you, but now you can also enroll in an entire department or a position or a division. So it gives you really a nice way of doing it. So for example, I just want those that are in my course development department to be enrolled in that course, I just select that department and it automatically enrolls all of those employees in that department into that course. Going back to my course management page here. So that's kind of how you can manage your courses here. Again, you can change your view as well, should you want to see a different view. But here is where you can add additional courses. This is where you can build out classroom workshops within the system and build out sessions. But I'm not going to focus on that today, but just know on the handouts that I provided you, it does have instructions on how to do that. What I'm going to focus on today is custom online building courses. You guys are probably maybe familiar with the quick courses that you had in the FNL system. This is how you can do it in the Learn system. Just select this icon, click Add a Course, and then you're ready to build out the course. So let's just call it Back Safety. Okay. Enter a course code, and the course code does need to be unique for your system. It doesn't have to be unique. You don't have to worry about any other PSAPs or anything like that. It's really just a course code for you and unique for your system. So you can, create whatever you want for your course code. You want to choose a category. So the category is how it's being presented under your course catalog, and you have the option to select a category, or you can create a category on the fly. And that's where that course will reside. So we're going to just go ahead and just do health and safety, and I'm going to place it there because it was back safety. Here's where you add a description. Description is optional. It's not required. Here is where you can drag a course image. On the course cards where I showed you on the dashboard, there was a little header at the top of those course cards. You can actually put a picture in there if you choose, and that's where you would do that. Enter the duration for that course. So you can select, maybe this is a 1-hour course. Is this course required? If it's required, up in the header area of that course card, it's going to have a little button that says required. Is there a relative due date? So again, you've done your overall settings for all of your courses under settings, but here's where you can change it for a particular course. Is that course gated? What's the passing grade for that course? Are you going to allow a self-enrollment? And then, of course, it goes down through all the other settings about if you want it to be assigned to a particular department, or, if you want a survey associated, what's the reminder messages. So once you've got the required information completed, click Add this course. And so now I've got this course card here called Back Safety, all started. There's no one enrolled in it because I don't have a course created yet. But I can go down to the bottom here, and now I can start adding my course content. So it's already building out chapter 1 for me. So what I want to do is click on Add Edit Content. Here I'm going to go in, and I've got my first chapter. So I'm going to name that chapter. Okay, so I've entered that chapter. I can also decide what color I want that chapter to be, should I choose. And then I can add text here for this. And I can use my HTML coding here for adding and, bolding and whatever I need to do for that particular course. But this is my chapter page. So let's say I've got that built out. Now I'm ready to add content to that chapter. So I want to click Add Content. I click on the button and I'm presented with 3 items here. I can add a slide, just like I did this slide. I can add PDF pages, or I can add a question. So maybe I have a PowerPoint and I want to add that PowerPoint here. What you'll need to do, first of all, is you'll need to convert that PowerPoint to a PDF. and then you can upload it. I don't have a PowerPoint actually, but I just wanted to use that and bring it in as an example. But what I want to do is I'm going to do add PDF as pages. And then I've got a PDF document and I'm just going to drop it here. So there's my PDF document. I'm going to upload it. And so what it does is it takes that document and it creates pages for me. So page 1 of that PDF is here, page 2 is here, page 3. So this is the document that I uploaded as a PDF. So it's just a nice way to get maybe your PowerPoint or your PDF into as a course in here. I have an extra page. There must have been a blank page for my PDF. So all I do need to do is click on the trash can and I can delete that extra slide. Let's say I didn't like the order, let's say this was a PowerPoint and I didn't like the order. All I need to do is click on the 3 dots and I can drag and drop and change the order of that course very easily. You can also go in and you can add additional content. Maybe I want to add a blank slide. And I want this blank slide to actually be my first page, so I can drag it up, drop it, and then I can go to that blank page and then I can type in the information I want here. I can also drag and, whoops, sorry, I didn't do that right. I can go in and drag a picture into my page and then continue with my text. I can also go in and insert a video. When you're inserting a video, you can paste a URL link into where it can play that video through that link, or you can upload a video into the course as well. For the system, videos, any documents, 100 megabytes is the max that you can have in here, and that's per file. So if you have, a couple videos that you want to add to create a course, just note that there's 100 megabyte minimum per video that you add. Okay. So that's kind of how to add information into the course and to build out pages. Let's go ahead and add an additional item here. We're going to add a question group. And so now here's my question group slide, and it went ahead and it took me to that slide. So what I want to do is I want to add a question. So just click on add a question. I can add a question or I can import a question if I have them in my library. And your library is actually located right here, in which you have the ability to build out questions in advance and make them available in this for any course that you happen to build. So I'm going to just go ahead and just add a question. And what I'm going to do here is just enter a question, hopefully. What?
Hey, Connie, real quick, just a 10-minute warning for you.
Thank you so much. We're almost done. I'm really rushing through this. So I'm going to put in blue. I'm going to put in red. I'm going to go ahead and add another color in here. We're going to put in green. Okay, so now I've got my question and I've got, my answers or my selections for answers. And then I can go in and I can determine which is the right and wrong answer. I can even drag and drop and reorder my questions as well, and then select the answer. Couple other things for you to know about questions. You can add a question to the library once you've added it here, and then it'll be available under the libraries. And then when you're adding questions, you can pull that down through the libraries tab. You can also attach an image or a video to a question by selecting here. And then this is where you would drop that image or video into that question. You also have the option of single select, which I have here, multiple select, or even true false. So a lot of different question options here. Once you've created your question, and I forgot to save it. Sorry about that. And we'll just leave it that way as answer 1, answer 2. Okay, so here now I have my question in here. The next step is you do want to do your question settings. So when I pre-built this course, I said you had to have a passing grade of 80%. So what I need to do is I need to make sure at least one of my courses or question page is scored. And then, I can publish this course. I can also randomize. I can also determine the number of questions that are randomized. I can also shuffle questions as well as shuffle answers. So these are your question settings. Okay. I can add additional questions here just by clicking on that. And then save. And so here are my questions. One other thing for you to be aware of is when you're working on your different pages, you have the ability to gate a course. So for example, if I click on this page and I see this text here, and I feel this is going to take somebody, 3 minutes to read, I can go in and I can put that into the system. So I want them to spend 3 minutes on this course, and I can enter it. That basically gates this page, and I can go throughout the course and enter that information and gate each of those pages. So my learner is spending the appropriate amount of time on the course. Another thing for you to know is, let me just add another content. I'm just going to add another slide in here. Come in here. Let's say I have a document that I want somebody to be able to download. I can do that by uploading a file, dropping a file into here. And so now this page lists the file name, and it also provides a download. So now my learner can actually download some handouts or important information for a course. So just want to let you know, there's a lot of different things. You can insert links, upload a file like we just did. You can add images. You can insert video or link to a video. And then finally, you can also do recordings. So you can add narration to your course. So you can actually click here and record directly. If you're hooked up to talk through your computer, you can record that for that particular page, or you can also use your own audio that you import. You can add it here as well. So it's a very robust course development tool that you can do whatever you need to do to present training to your employees. So I'm going to pop back real quick here. So this is the course that we worked on. I did only have one chapter, 6 pages. I can view it. I can always go back in and edit this way, or I can go back in and edit this way. Just know whenever you want to edit a course, you do have to have the course unpublished in order to do that. You can also, let's say you need a different version of a course, like 90% of the course is the same, but for different departments, you need to tweak a few things. You can actually copy a course and create a secondary version. Create that first one, then create a copy, and then make the adjustments. And so then you can push out the appropriate course to the appropriate department. And then finally, once you publish a course, you can always enroll learners into that, again, by employees, departments, divisions, and positions. Boy, that was a lot, guys. Do we have any questions? Okay, somebody noted that they recently have an account that says it's pending activation. So if you want, just send me your name to Connie at neogov, neogov.com, and I can help you with that. One of the things to note for users, under the administration user, this is where the activation status is. So anyone that's activated basically means they have activated their account. Anyone that says send activation email, all you do is you just click on that link and it's going to resend a activation email to that person, letting them know to activate their account. If you have someone that you've done it, they're not getting the email, they've checked their junk mail, they're not getting their activation link, know that you can click on this person icon, the second one in, and you can actually create a temporary password for that person. You just have to follow these criteria here, enter that, and then just let them know your new username is this and your temporary password is this, and then they can sign in. Oh, other thing, activation emails are only good for 5 days, and then you do have to send a new link. Any other questions? All right, well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I hope you learned a lot.
All right, thank you so much for the presentation, Connie. We are now moving into a short 15-minute break, after which the next supervisor director track will begin at 4. So we hope to see you all there. Have a good day.